But don't look in your rearview mirror, here comes number 8. He's a rocker and a roller, and he shows us how to shut him down. I guess he runs independent until my dad is back in town. Yeah, I guess he runs independent until my dad is back in town. Bad boy, stand on it, son.
And welcome to the Nasboys podcast. Now, did you know that Jason Leffler ran both the Indy 500 and Brickyard 400 during his racing career? He ran the Indy 500 in 2000, driving the number 50 Oldsmobile powered by G-Force chassis for the Treadway Racing. He started 17th and would finish in the same position. 4 years later, he would make his only Cup start at the Brickyard 400. He had the fastest car in practice, but would qualify 25th. He finished last place after cutting down a left front tire on lap 4. So anyways, guys, welcome to the Nasboys podcast. I'm your host, Mike, a.k.a. Mike Fobfam 101, with my good friends and co-host, Christian, a.k.a. Savage NASCAR.
What's up, guys?
Cam, a.k.a. Ice by Cam.
Howdy, yo.
And Josiah, a.k.a. Josiah_Calhoun.
Hi.
So, we hope you guys enjoyed your break from us for a little bit and a little bit of a break from NASCAR. The reason why we didn't really upload too much content is because, everyone needs a break once in a while. We just had nothing really to talk about, and we used that opportunity to go work on our sports channel a little bit. So go check out our sports channel. The link will be in the description. But for now, let's get back into talking about some NASCAR. We're going to talk about the weekend at Watkins Glen, starting out with the truck race. What did you guys think?
First off, we have to mention the crazy coincidence or sort of ironic thing that happened at lap 1 of that race. So, Mike?
Immediately 3 wide going down to turn 1. Oh, look at that. Didn't take long. Even check-in Rhodes and the 18 of Chandler Smith.
He had picked Ben Rhodes to win. Me and Cam picked Chandler Smith. In turn 1, Ben Rhodes and Chandler Smith got turned. So that was pretty funny. But the truck race was pretty good. I saw some people say it was a wreck fest, but then someone told me at my job that it wasn't a wreck fest. But nevertheless, I thought it was a pretty solid race.
Yeah, I really had to say the same thing. It was, to me, it wasn't really a wreck fest. It was just more like a lot of cautions. I wouldn't really call them wrecks. I mean, I only really saw 2. It's more just, a lot of just wild racing on the track, which is usual. It's Watkins Glen. That happens at times. But, besides that, it was a good race. If I had to rate it, I'd probably give it like 7 out of 10.
It was solid. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I watched some of it. I mean, it was all right for the most part. Excuse me. That's really all I gotta say. Like Josiah said, it was solid. A driver who impressed me was Parker Klingerman. I believe he finished in the top 10 or top 15, and he was running there for most of the day. So, well done, Parker. So now let's get into the Xfinity race. What did you guys think of that one?
Who did anyone like on the fan poll or anything do like rate the race, or did anyone get a pick correct?
Yes, I got to get back into the swing of that. But while I pull that up, you guys can go ahead and talk about the Xfinity race.
So the Xfinity race, I didn't watch it, to be honest with you. In fact, I don't know why, but I forgot who won the race, which is pretty bad because I should know. But I think I picked AJ Allmendinger to win.
No, it's Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, Ty Gibbs won. I picked Allmendinger to win. But yeah, Ty Gibbs gets another win, if I'm correct, his 5th win of the season. He's having an amazing year. And the Xfinity race, from the highlights I saw, it didn't seem too exciting. What about you, Cam?
It was. I also had to watch the highlights because I couldn't make it that day. To watch it, I was a little busy that day. But looking at the highlights, there wasn't really much to talk about. Nothing that was really too interesting to me. I mean, Ty Gibbs winning. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a shocker, but I was a little surprised to see him, there. But it was an all right race.
Okay, sadly, I didn't watch the race, but but I do have something to say. I think Ty Gibbs, I think it's like his third win of the season, but I think he's not even full time, and he's won 3 races. So I think that Ty Gibbs is definitely really good, and it's pretty cool to be seeing much like this, especially at such a young age.
Yeah, before I get started with my thoughts on the Xfinity Series, here's the fan poll for the truck race. 4 of you said great, 2 of you said good, 1 of you said meh/okay, and 1 of you said bad. No one answered, and no one answered for driver of the day. Come on,
Wow.
guys. Driver of the day, I don't really know who I want to give it to. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, me either. I don't know either.
Okay, no driver of the day for once.
Wait, actually, I'll say Ty Gibbs.
No, for the truck race.
Oh, the truck race. Shoot. I know we were talking about the truck race still. Okay. But I think Ty Gibbs for the Xfinity Series.
All right, I guess no driver of the day for the truck race. That's a first in Nasboys history. So for the Xfinity race, I thought that was a pretty good race. I really enjoyed watching the battle at the end with Ty Gibbs and all the road course ringers. The racing was solid all day, but like I said, I really enjoyed that ending battle where Ty Gibbs, he gave Austin Cindric
down in the braking zone. Look at him close in right here, charging through the center of the bus stop into the carousel, putting the pressure on right on the back bumper. This 22 car moves him up the racetrack. I think the 22 got loose. I'm not sure if there was contact. They're side by side out of the carousel.
They were side by side. Cindric somehow or another gained that back. Allmendinger now trying to take the pressure to Gibbs. New tires there in 5th with Brandon Jones, and then all new tires, 6th, 7th. Much newer tires than the cars in front.
What a battle in front of us here with Austin Cindric out in front. Ty Gibbs running second. A.J. Allmendinger is third. Harrison Burton right there in fourth. Brandon Jones in 5th. What an amazing turnaround for the 19 team. And now Cindric trying to hold them off. Under 11 laps to go from the Glen.
Austin Cindric trying to get out of Dodge right now. He's got Ty Gibbs applying pressure. There's Gibbs right there trying to wedge his way underneath Cindric at the bottom of the S's. Here they come up through 3, over the tunnel to 4, and Ty Gibbs is staying with Austin Cindric stride for stride. And if any of the front 2 make a mistake, A.J. Allmendinger is right there in 3rd to capitalize. Cindric had to be perfect over the S's to not be in trouble here and be on the defense. But watch this 54 close in right on the back bumper again. It's getting him loose. A little contact right here. Right on the bumper. So close. Gibbs in the 54 being patient. He's got a great run now, Jeff.
Yeah, he's got a great run. He should be able to turn out. Cindric blocking him down the back straightaways. Gibbs pushing himself in there, saying, I'm going to take this spot from you side by side in 6th. Now sending to the inside. Gibbs clears him in 7th. Great battle.
By 1.5.
An amazing move by the 18-year-old. Cindric and Allmendinger, the favorites, not so fast. Ty Gibbs proves it. He has the talent. He's won on the road courses before.
A little bit of a taste of his own medicine. He moved him out of the way, but he did it very cleanly, which was very impressive to me. And then he held off A.J. Allmendinger, who is arguably one of the best road course racers of this generation at the moment. And, that was really cool to see. Ty definitely deserves a full-time Xfinity ride. You don't see too many kids coming here at like 18 years old, and they're already starting to dominate in any sort of level of NASCAR. So that's a really great sight to see, and he's definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future. And I'm here for his career, and as much as I don't like Joe Gibbs Racing, I will support Ty Gibbs. I almost said Ty Gibbs Racing.
Yeah, I agree.
So now let's take a look at what you guys had to say. 2 of you said great, 5 of you said good, 0 of you said meh/okay, and 0 of you said bad. Henry24257 says a lot of side-by-side action and a clinic by Ty Gibbs. And the driver of the day is Ty Gibbs, which I think most of us can agree with.
Yeah, I'll have to say that. I want to mention too, stage 2. That was a crazy finish. It came down to then that stage between Cindric and Allmendinger, and it was a photo finish. I thought, in my opinion, the driver today is going to be Ty Gibbs, but it's really hard to knock Kyle out Cindric and Allmendinger because they had a great performance. It was just like those three guys were up front the entire race. Cindric and Allmendinger have combined for 6 total wins so far this season. And one other stat I want to point out for y'all, Ty Gibbs has won 37% of his races that he's had in his Xfinity career, which is pretty insane.
That's a cool stat.
That's very incredible. So now let's get into the Cup race. What did you guys have to say about it?
Well, the Cup race was pretty good. I felt like the beginning of the race was better than the end. That's just my opinion. Live reacting to it for the first time on YouTube, that was definitely a different experience. Unfortunately, I didn't have NBC ESN because of cable TV. But anyways, I did watch it on stream, even though it was a little bit behind. Everyone picked Chase Elliott to win, it seemed like. Everyone picked him. They're going to be like, oh, he's going to dominate yet again. And I picked William Byron to win. He actually was mid-pack most of the race. Then all of a sudden, maybe in the start of the second half, he started to rise up the leaderboard. I was like, man, Byron's going to catch them because he was just rising up the leaderboard quickly. But at the end, he kind of just faded out. It was sort of like a green flag run race. It felt like there wasn't many cautions. There was Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano when they spun out.
And also on pit road, a great run for this 42 car coming in. Oh, we got trouble over here. 2 Penske cars off it.
The 2 of Brad Keselowski with damage on the right rear bumper. The 22 of Joey Logano leaving. It's chaos. We have pit road busy. Cars spinning on the racetrack. Let's take a look at what happens. We're going to see 2 cars on pit road. Once again, the 2 of Brad Keselowski consistently having braking issues. And who does he hit? His own teammate. I mean, that's just bad luck for Joey Logano. Brad Keselowski out of control down the inside of the racetrack. And if anybody he wants to hit, it's not this 22. And heavy damage, really, around the right rear tire of this 22 car.
And the 2 where they fill that for gas. So obviously issues for all of Penske cars today because we saw Ryan Blaney also having issues.
Hold the brake. We definitely have to get into that in a minute because I thought that was pretty crazy. And it caused a little bit of controversy, it seemed, chatter among the fan base.
It was a sad day for a Brad fan.
Sorry, go ahead, Josiah.
No, I was just saying something. It was a sad day for a Brad fan.
Oh, yeah. And this guy, Chase Briscoe, had another great finish. If I'm correct, he got 9th. Ross Chastain had a good race as well. Matt DiBenedetto was doing good too, but I don't know where he ended up. He kind of faded towards the end. Same thing as Austin Dillon. He was up front most race, and all of a sudden he finished in 20-something. And Kyle Larson, once he got out ahead because of all that strategy, he was just gone. And then Elliott, he was coming fast. I felt like if he had maybe 5 more laps, he would have caught him, but there was a lot of traffic, and yeah, his tires kind of faded out. But nevertheless, Elliott drove the wheels off that car. He's my driver of the day. What about y'all? What's y'all's thoughts?
Yeah, looking at this race, Savage, you have a great point. It was really more somewhat of an exciting when it was in the start of the race or when it was coming to the end. Honestly, it kind of felt like the race was just kind of going by. To me, it was just, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't say it was too exciting for me. I don't know. Maybe that's just my, my Joy fan, logic coming in. Because, I don't know. I feel like, not having my racer in the race is, awful. It just, makes it so much worse because it's who am I going to root for? So I kind of became just rooting for Larson because, why would I want to see another win by Elliott? I kind of got tired of that after a while. But if I had to I think it was a good race, but if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, so I actually enjoyed this race pretty well. Actually, I thought I I had a pretty good time overall through the whole race. But yeah, I think that I thought that the finish was really good. I was, because Larson, of course, has Jimmy's car. I was rooting for him late in the race, so I was on the edge of my seat for that. And yeah, it was also like I said earlier, it was pretty rough day for a Brad fan, and I know that I saw that Mike was pretty mad at Brad for getting into Joey.
Because Brad's an idiot. Because Brad is an idiot. That's why.
No, I think it was just his brakes were all messed up.
Oh no, 100%.
Okay. I thought it was a pretty solid race, like, the entire weekend was. We saw Larson obviously dominating again. I mean, what a way to come back, NASCAR. Just have Larson dominate again. So that didn't really make it fun, but all around I enjoyed the race. Chase Elliott, I definitely agree, is my driver of the day. He came back because he was having a lot of issues. Like, he was not up front. He lost his crew chief, Alan Gustafson, because of the inspection failure, and then he rallied his way back up, which, the people who whine that he's Silver Spoon can shut up now. But yeah, I thought it was a solid race. As a Joey fan, I felt a lot of pain because I thought he had a good car to get a top 5 and possibly even win the race after winning stage 1. But nope, thanks to Brad Keselowski for staying on the track even though he had brake issues. Good job, Brad. Just I don't know why he didn't get off the track. I'm not gonna moan about it. I'm not gonna whine about it. I don't want to be known as one of those toxic fans. But another instance that I did want to get into was the Bell and Larson incident.
Rex Jr., Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson. Larson looks to the inside, trying to take second away from Christopher Bell. And contact made. Bell goes around. Larson stays going the right direction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Bell is proving why I think that JGR Cup drivers are crybabies. He clearly started that crash. He did not give Larson enough room, and Larson did what he had to do. I don't even think he meant to turn him. That's just what happens when you take that tight of a corner and you gotta slow down that much, and then you come into a corner. He didn't give him enough room, and it was clear on TV. It's clear as day. And if you think Larson wrecked him on purpose, then I don't know what race you were watching, and I think that you're absolutely stupid.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say that Bell, I don't think Bell cried about it because I didn't see anything post-race he said anything about it. I may be wrong, but I didn't see him say anything about it.
Well, Larson claims that he couldn't be an adult about it and just discuss it like a man. So
did they have a fight or something, or like a interaction?
No.
Maybe like behind closed doors kind of talk, just maybe a one-on-one, or maybe he heard from his other crew members that something was going down about him complaining.
Yeah, this would be a pretty cool rivalry to have.
I will say this though, is that for all those people that think that it was clear that Bell spun himself, there was nothing about Larson spinning Bell. No, Bell spun himself. He obviously went way too tight and didn't give him any room. It's his fault.
I agree. It was a racing incident, and with Bell, I get why you'd be a little upset because he was having a great run. He was up in the top 5 pretty much the whole race. He did come back a little bit, but I get why he'd be a little bit upset because he could have finished so much better than he did, and he spun out. He had the rebound and all that. But you guys are absolutely correct. Yeah, it was a racing deal. He didn't get spun on purpose. What about you, Josiah? Or do you have anything to add?
Oh yeah, personally, I think that, just in my opinion, I think that it was a little more Christopher Bell's fault than Kyle Larson's, because it really just looks like he just kind of came down on him. But I also think Kyle Larson probably came up a little bit, so kind of saying that, agreeing with you guys, that's a racing incident. But I just really kind of think it was a little more Christopher Bell's fault.
Yeah, Larson came up around the rumble strips because Bell was forcing him, and obviously you don't want to go in the rumble strip and then spin yourself out because of Bell's fault. Here's Larson's full quote. He says, "I think any adult in the field would at least have a conversation with you, but he doesn't care to. If it makes him sleep better at night to ignore me and want to crash me or whatever, so be it."
Well, did Bell my thing is right about that quote. It makes me think, did Bell like text him about it, or did he like call him about it, or did he just not say anything? If he didn't say anything, then Larson's just causing drama.
That's
But
what I
if he
meant by
didn't
like.
say something, then that makes sense.
I think he was like close behind closed doors kind of thing. You know, I feel like maybe it just was like around the whole NASCAR. You know, of oh hey, Bell's whining about you for doing this, and they kind of just got to Larson. You know, sooner than later. So that's honestly that's my guess of if he did hear something from. You know, I imagine Bell would not just go and straight DM him about that because I don't know. I just feel like that's not in Bell's character.
I thought I heard something that Bell was saying that it was Larson's fault. So I don't really know if it's really Larson's fault. Then he's another JGR crybaby, or if he really thinks it's Larson's fault, then he's another JGR crybaby. But in my opinion, it's just a racing incident. Happens. So now let's take a look at what you guys had to say. 2 of you said great. 4 of you said good. None of you said meh/okay, and 1 of you said bad. Henry24257 says people will be whining if their favorite driver didn't win, but I'm not. Woo! Let's go Larson. And no driver of the day. Mine is Chase Elliott because of his comeback. But Bell
Yeah,
could
I have to
also
agree.
make a case because he was doing really well until he wrecked himself.
Facts. I have to agree. Chase Elliott's definitely the driver of the day, and then after him, it would have to be. It's tough. It's tough. I do want to say too that Logano paint scheme was tripping me up because it looked very similar to Austin Cindric's Xfinity scheme, and it kept throwing me off at points. I'm like, is that Cindric or is that Logano? But yeah, Chase Elliott, driver of the day.
Well, Penske likes to reuse a lot of their paint schemes, so I can see where you would think that. So next topic here is about
hold on, Mike. I meant to. Sorry, guys. I have to add this in here. It wasn't on the topics, but I just want to point out Bob Jenkins, legendary motorsports announcer. He recently passed away due to long battle of cancer. So I just want to say our condolences, our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family. He was a legendary announcer, one of my favorites. He covered NASCAR, he covered IndyCar, Indy 500, you name it. He was the head of ESPN for some time, and it was really sad to hear this past week that he had passed away.
Yeah, if you've watched a lot of NASCAR clips over the 90s and 80s, that's him. That iconic voice is him. He definitely had a great voice, and even though I couldn't be there to witness that great era, he still seems like a legend to me, so rest in peace. So now let's talk about the new NASCAR game that's coming out. It's called NASCAR 21 Ignition. Here's the trailer.
Knocked down in the dirt, yeah. Pushing through all the hurt, yeah. Got blood on my shirt, yeah. Just putting in the work, yeah. Feel it running in my veins, like a runaway train. I'm never backing down, never taking no bow. Can't stop me now. Rising like legends over rivals, champions destined for the title. Last one standing, we're gonna prove it's not where we come from, it's what we came to do. It's what we came to do. It's what we came to do.
So the cover drivers are they have first off a champion edition, which is Bill Elliott, and they have a normal edition, which is what 2K does, the NBA 2K series does. And the drivers on the cover of the normal edition are Bubba Wallace for Toyota, Chase Elliott for Chevy, and Ryan Blaney for Ford. And some of the features of the game, it just seems like a normal NASCAR game. And it looks more detailed. If you couldn't tell in the trailer, there's a lot of stuff going on, like more in the garage. And it looks much better graphically too. So I don't know. I probably won't buy it because I don't really buy games too much, but it does look interesting and for any of you NASCAR fans who like to play the games, go ahead, play it. And I'm really excited for the soundtrack too.
I have a completely different view of it than you, Mike. I'm just going to say right now. So I didn't get to see the trailer yet, so I may be wrong with some of the stuff I'm saying, but from what I heard, there's some things that are wrong with it. First off, there's no Xfinity Series or Truck Series in the game. How can you not have that? A positive, though, I just want to add the name. It's cool that they changed the name up a little bit. They added the word ignition in the title, so that's a plus. Next, I heard you just said the drivers that are on the cover. I think it's really cool to have Bill Elliott on there for the legendary cover, but for the main one, Elliott's been on there twice in a row. I personally, even though I'm a Hendrick fan, he shouldn't be on there. Next, the Ford driver should have been Kevin Harvick. And then the other driver, Bubba Wallace. No hit against Bubba Wallace, but why is he on there? What has he done to be on the cover? I mean, to be honest with you, I know people are going to get mad at me because of this, but he shouldn't be on the cover. I feel like if there's a Toyota driver that's going to be on there, it has to be either Kyle Busch. I don't like Kyle Busch, but it has to be either Kyle Busch or Denny Hamlin. That's just my opinion about it. And then for the Ford, other than Harvick, I'd have to say Keselowski. But what about y'all? What y'all thoughts? I also heard that my bro Dank NASCAR memes. He said that the graphics look like plastic. So, what y'all thought?
You know, I'm not really gonna judge it that much yet because I feel like I really haven't gotten to see the full thing. Like I did watch the trailer, but I feel like it's still like in development. It hasn't really there's still things about it that's they're still working on and fixing on. So I'm not gonna judge it yet. Really, I will say the cover the cover athlete. Well, the cover. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say they're an athlete. I just I don't know. I feel like really out of all of them, I kind of really wish like Kyle Busch would have been the athlete, like the cover guy because he just I don't know. I feel like he doesn't get some credit that he deserves at times. And you've seen Elliott on here. He's been there like 2 times now. Are they gonna make it a third? We're just waiting to see that happen at this point. You got guys like Wallace. I've never even seen him win a race this season before. And that's not like trying to be mean or anything, but it's like at least if you're gonna get on the cover, at least deserve it, right? Like at least do something that's honorable. And I just I don't know. I like I said, I won't really judge that by much, but off the trailer, I will say it looks decent, but at the same time, they do all that editing and stuff to make the game look 10 times better than it really is. You see the same with Madden and 2K. They always add extra things that's never really going to happen in the game. It's just a lot of CGI and fake stuff. So until then, I won't really judge it more until more gameplay comes out and more stuff about it, and then I'll really make my final decision.
True. I have to say same. Sorry, Josiah. I just want to also add in. I agree with you, Cam, about like the judging. I don't know, like just my opinion on the game. I can't really say a whole lot about it until I see like the trailer, until we see more about it, because they could add stuff to the game after the announcement. I mean, it's coming out in October, so that's still like 2 months. They're still going to add stuff to the game. They're still going to be developing it. So I'm just saying what I said because of what I've seen so far and from what I've heard so far. So for those that get offended, I'm sorry. What about you, Josiah?
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think you guys both had some pretty good points, but yeah, I don't really know if I've really seen enough to really have an idea on what my thoughts are on it yet. But so I'm gonna talk about the cover, but I don't really think that Chase Elliott. I would probably have preferred a different driver than Chase Elliott to be on the cover for the second year in a row, and also in 2018 it was Chase Elliott was also on the cover. So I think that maybe they could have used a different driver. But yeah, and then now that I think about it, I think they should have put Jimmy Johnson on the cover of the last NASCAR heat game. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's a stretch.
yeah, I do want to say some complaints. I didn't really want to talk about my complaints, but I will talk about my complaints. First of all, for all my League Racer friends, I'm sorry for you that you guys don't have private lobbies, at least not yet. The cover drivers, Wallace, I mean, with all the stuff that happened in 2020, I guess, but other than that, I mean, he didn't really deserve
Yeah.
it. I would have personally
True.
put someone different, like, I don't know, maybe Hamlin or Truex. For the Chevy, I mean, Chase Elliott won the championship, so that's I can at least understand why. But I do see you guys' points where he has been on the cover already multiple times. And Ryan
Yeah.
Blaney, I mean, he's great. I think that he is a definitely. All right, guys. So Zoom stopped on us. So finishing up my thought here, Blaney, it's an interesting choice for the cover. I mean, he is a popular driver, but I think that they could have picked someone more like Brad Keselowski because Harvick had already been on the cover. He was on the original cover for Heat 5. So Brad Keselowski would have been someone different, but overall, I mean, I'm glad that they went with like someone different besides Elliott, but it's just not it. They could have done so much more with it. But anyways, Cam, you had something that you wanted to say.
Oh, listen. Oh, any day, right? Like it doesn't matter who, right? But even with Blaney, I'd much rather have Almirola on the cover since he's at least have a win
Hey,
this season, right?
that would
At
be
least he has a
lit.
win. Okay, like he has at least earned something to get at least somewhere on the cover. All right, but like
Blaney
I
has a
like
win this
Blaney.
season.
I like Blaney. What?
Blaney has a win this season.
He has a win this season?
Yeah.
Well, then I'm
Atlanta.
wrong.
Oh,
I'm
Atlanta.
stupid then. But
Remember when he beat out
okay,
Kyle
but
Larson?
anyways, okay, then fine. It still works for Bubba Wallace.
Yeah, but still, I still agree with you though.
Yeah. See, so Bubba Wallace, it still works with Bubba Wallace because like Bubba Wallace has done nothing. What, a stage win? Congrats, Bubba. You really showed yourself out there.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Really pushing through adversity.
I would. Okay. I just want to say that yeah, I'm sure we're going to get some comments or some messages, some Bubba stands that will probably be going after us. But I just want to say, we're just saying facts. We statistically wise, he can't be on the cover at all.
Yeah, you can if you want to message us, come at us. Come at us. I forgot to mention for the Xfinity series in the Cup, someone who impressed me in the Xfinity was Josh Williams. He got a top 15, which is
Yeah.
pretty impressive for his equipment. Also, Jeremy Clements has been very impressive. And
Yep.
Michael McDowell, I already talked about Michael McDowell earlier in the season. Now let's move on to the next topic. With the Olympics ending just last week, a lot of motorsports fans were talking about whether motorsports should they be in the Olympics. What do you guys think?
I 100% would love it. And here's the reason why. What I think they should do, they either mix different class of cars together and have like some of the biggest names, like for a big race or something like Cars 2, where they had the different drivers to different sports, different cars to get together for a race. That'd be really lit. The only problem is it would be probably very like one-sided sometimes. It just depends on the track. Say for instance, Formula One car, they'll probably outrun a lot of other cars. Like I get why they probably wouldn't do that, but it would be pretty cool to see like Formula One car going up against a NASCAR, going up against a GT. You know what I'm saying? All these different cars. It'd be pretty cool to see. I don't think they would do that. What I'd see them probably doing is something like, like the 24 hours of Le Mans or 24 hours of Daytona, not that long a race, but those type of cars, and have different athletes from different motorsports like series and divisions drive those cars and do a race. I would love it. I really like the idea. What about y'all?
Personally, I kind of agree with like what Savage said. I'd also think of like maybe making a whole different car that no one's been in, so it's all kind of fresh to everybody, in a sense, and having them race there. And I don't know. I think it'd be cool to have like a sick like design for the cars, like USA, Portugal, like whatever. Like it doesn't matter. Like whatever country's there that makes it. France, it doesn't matter. I think that would be a really cool idea, and I would like to see them implement it. But it's just the fact of what tracks they would use. You have to also think about like licensing. That would be a pain for them. And, I think there's a lot of complications into that too. So, I mean, yes, it would be cool to happen, but do I ever think it would happen? I'm not really sure.
They should race on toilet carts or monster trucks.
Okay.
Wow. Nothing? Okay.
No, I did a little chuckle there.
Okay.
That was the latest laugh I've heard in my life. What was that? I mean, you mentioned a different type of car. You mentioned something no one's ever raced on. None of these guys have none of these guys have raced on toilet carts or lawnmower carts.
Toilet cars.
I know, but like, why would you say a monster truck car? That's like the slowest thing in the world.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, they'll be jumping and doing, like they'll be up in the air. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, let's keep it going. Come on, guys, let's go. Let's move it.
Okay. Yeah, I think that this would be like a really good idea. I don't know if it will ever happen because of like what Cam was saying, but I think that this would be really fun and really cool to see like a lot of the best drivers from their countries in the world come and race. And I think it would be cool to have like, I don't know, I think it would just be, I don't know what car they would race, but I think, yeah, probably like a sports car, like Christian was saying, or they could make like a whole new car that's like just like completely equal, because it'd be kind of cool to see like if they could actually like outdrive each other and see who is just the best driver, like not even like have the best car, just like all have the exact same car, so they'll all be equaled out. I think that would be really cool to see. And I think if they were to do like a thing, I think maybe if they did like a six race thing or something, and then whoever has the most points by the end of the 6 races, I think that would be kind of cool to see. But I don't really know what they would do. And then like you could get the type of medal for finishing on the podium.
I get what you're saying by that, but I just want to say I get what you're saying about standings and all that, but you have to also take into account they have to travel so far away. You have to bring all these cars, and the Olympics is like 3-4 weeks long. 6 races in 4 weeks. That'd be kind of interesting to see. Like, will they be able to fit all that in there? And what tracks would they use?
Yeah.
I mean, they would probably have to use twin ring Motegi or Suzuka circuit or something like that. I forgot what it's called. But nevertheless, it'd be interesting how they're going to do it. I don't think they'll be able to do 6 races, but at least 3.
Yeah.
See, I think it would be different. I think they should just
but
do one race. One race, one track, and it's like one shot. I think that would put a lot on the lines, which would just make it more interesting and intense.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Anyways, you can go, Mike.
Okay. Well, you guys basically said what I wanted to say. I think first off, it depends on which country the Olympics are in, because let's say if they're in America, you know, they could do races at like, I don't know, Bristol, Daytona, something like that. But yeah, and then you have to even it out. I mean, because if we have Lewis Hamilton in a Formula One car versus, I don't know, Kyle Larson in a NASCAR car, Lewis Hamilton's winning every time. You gotta even it out, I feel like, and have a car that's like an SRX type car. Maybe not exactly like that car, but an SRX type car, like what yeah, I mean, like what all of you guys were saying, maybe like one of those IMSA cars that they could do. And I think, I don't know, because like I wouldn't mind seeing multiple races, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind seeing like one big endurance race. So like, let's say we have an endurance race, like, I don't know, the 24 hours at Daytona Olympics edition, and we just have like the drivers in their countries, and like we have people like, I don't know, Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, and Denny Hamlin, and they all just switch out every hour or so. So that would be very good, and whoever wins it gets, you know, the gold, silver, bronze medals.
That actually is a really good idea.
What?
Oh, I was just saying that is a good idea. I don't know how I didn't think about that. That'd be really cool if they just did like a 24-hour thing. Or
yeah, I thought you were going to say I have a really good idea, but I was just going to say if they're having, like, say for instance, the Olympics are in America, I feel like the 3 races they should do: Daytona, Circuit of the Americas, and Indianapolis. That's just my
Yes.
opinion. The road course,
Yeah, definitely.
Daytona, you could do an oval and a road course. And Indianapolis, the yard of bricks.
I feel like if they didn't do Indianapolis, it'd be like disrespectful to like
Yeah.
everybody, like
How?
everybody.
How would it be disrespectful?
If they didn't do
It's
it,
facility. That thing has you could fit 44 Detroit Lion football fields inside
No.
of the
I'm saying
track.
it would be disrespectful if they didn't do it.
Oh, I thought you said did. Oh man,
Oh
my
my
brain,
gosh.
something is not going correctly. My apologies.
Well, what?
All right.
Guys,
Yeah, I'm
guys,
here. I'm here whenever you guys want to stop laughing. All right.
I don't get what
All right. Coming in with the top 10 here, Josiah. Why don't you start us off? This is top 10 Brickyard 400 moments.
Okay, so yes, starting in at number 10 is the 2014, sorry about that, Brickyard 400. So you can roll the clip.
"17 laps to go at the Brickyard."
Jeff Gordon's really going to have to take the lead from Casey Kane, because if he doesn't, he's probably going back to at least 30.
He did it!
And we pointed out early on, they've had a lot of very good races, but just find ways not to win once again today.
Already there, bud.
He's in the last lap. And as we look out the window across at the grandstands, all the fans that are here at the Speedway today are now on their feet, watching to see if Jeff Gordon comes back around to take another checkered flag. Final quarters. He won the first one in 1994. 20 years later, he wins the 21st. Checkered flag in the Brickyard 400 to Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, buddy. Greatest photos over you on the best.
Okay, so in 2014 is when Jeff Gordon would win his 5th Brickyard after taking the lead on the final lap. So I think that Jeff Gordon, he could, in NASCAR, he could definitely be considered the GOAT, the GOAT of the Brickyard. But I think Jimmy Johnson makes a pretty good run at it. But I think Jeff Gordon is the king at the Brickyard. And then also, this would be his 90th career win. So that's pretty historical right there.
True. And that was also the one thing I wanted to add to that as well. It was actually the last race ever, like, broadcasted on ESPN, at least for now.
Ooh, that's a good fact.
In at number 9 is Jamie McMurray holding off Kevin Harvick. Here's the clip.
The 2 leading cars from Earnhardt Ganassi Racing with Felix Sabates will do different things. Jamie McMurray takes 2. Papa Montoya, he wanted to go for 4, and that's interesting because McMurray thought he might have a flat. I hope it wasn't on the left side. Kevin Bonomanian. Okay, I understand the track position thing, but then your driver says I might have a flat, and then he kind of locks him up coming in. Are you okay?
Yeah, the tires are fine. There's 2 runs in a row, I believe we had a flat, and I think the splitter's getting a little bit worn. It's causing a small vibration, which he thinks he has a flat. So, fast stroke, Chevy's good to go to the end.
We're back to green flag racing, and boy, McMurray jumps and takes a big lead into one.
Yeah, it's almost like Tony Stewart was asleep at the wheel there on that restart. Great start for McMurray.
As we watch both ends of the track right here, Harvick taking a peek, but will not try and make the move going into 3.
Oh, what a great call this has been for Kevin Harvick. He's been solid all day, but nothing up at the front.
And this is the closest sniff he has had to the race lead all day long.
Man, he is working McMurray over right here. He might have him.
Coming down the stretch. Boy, look at this. Kevin Harvick makes it look easy this time as he becomes our 10th. Oh, no, trouble right at the pit end.
Yeah, we're leaders. Like Montoya and Jr.
Look at this. Oh, man, what disappointment for the 42. Now let's listen in on the radio of the one car.
I know I'm beating a dead horse, but I swear I got a tire that doesn't feel right. I can't tell. I mean, I don't know what's wrong. Something doesn't feel right, though.
And we are back racing again at the Brickyard 400.
Oh, McMurray with a really good restart. Can he hang on that outside here?
Well, we're going to find out because a lot of guys are going with him.
Well, takes the lead off of turn 1.
So give Jamie McMurray the lead.
You see Jamie McMurray trying to break the draft a little bit.
This time by 8 laps remaining here at the Brickyard. He's opened up a bit of a gap, about 0.4 of a second over Kevin Harvick. And Biffle hasn't been able to close as rapidly as he had been. Coming through turn number 4. It's a long way down this front straightaway to the white flag. But Jamie McMurray, as he makes his way, white flag is out. And this race is going to be official. The final lap, 2.5 miles to go.
Boy, what a great feeling. What a great job Jamie McMurray's done it. Ray Evernham sat down there. Ray, I know you're sitting there saying you're the one that picked this guy, and you have all week stuck with him. And Jamie McMurray looks like he's going to make it come true for Chip Ganassi and make you look like a genius too down there, buddy.
Down the backstretch for the last time. McMurray looking for his 5th Sprint Cup win in his 278th start. In the North Chute, Chip Ganassi, he knows he's this close to making history.
Yeah, he can start smiling now. You see it right there. You can see him come off the corner.
Jamie McMurray is going to win Daytona and the Brickyard 400 in the same year.
Chip Ganassi racing, fellas. Good job, man. Good job, Bono. Great pit stop. Awesome job today, guys. Unbelievable.
Chip Ganassi pits me. Is this real?
Kiss the bricks.
We're going to kiss the bricks.
Chip, I know you don't get very emotional, but what a special day for you and this entire organization.
Pretty special. You know, my heart goes out to Juan. He had a great day too, but he and Jamie, you know, Bass, Target, this is for all of them. I'll tell you, this is a big, big day for our team, and I couldn't be happier to have it happen here in Indianapolis.
When will it sink in? I know you got IndyCar people watching. I mean, the Daytona 500, the Indy 500, and the Brickyard 400 all in one year.
It's incredible. I need oxygen. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
So not too much really to say. It is the 2010 Brickyard 400. He held off Kevin Harvick, which was revenge for 7 years ago in the same race where Harvick beat him. It was McMurray's second win of the season and his second crown jewel after winning that year's Daytona 500.
Coming in at number 8, we got the Bodine brothers, Jeff Bodine and Brett Bodine, tangling in the first ever Brickyard 400. Roll the clip.
Motor Speedway, and the cars have run a half a lap under green. Brett Bodine is the 11th leader of the day, and with his lead, he becomes the 3rd Bodine to lead in the event. And there was contact between Jeff and Brett.
Looks like there might have been some contact between those two cars because Brett got his car. Oh! And a Jeff Bodine Smith coming off turn 4 right in front of the entire field.
Look at everybody going to the inside to try to avoid the trouble, some coming down pit road. Well, you saw there contact between brothers, Brett and Jeff. There was minor contact of the two in turn 3, and when they come off turn 4, it looked like there was more contact, and Jeff spun around in front of the entire field. There's Dale Jarrett, whose car has been severely damaged in the incident.
Looks like only 2 cars involved in this, Jeff Bodine and Dale Jarrett.
Amazingly, because there were a lot of drivers that were coming down on the Bodine and Jarrett cars, but somehow they avoid hitting them. Jeff is okay. You can see him climbing out of his car and waving to the fans. Now the safety crews are at Dale Jarrett's car. Now let's take a look at the initial contact in turn 3, Benny.
Go down in the corner. That's Brett in the green car, Jeff in the black number 7. And just a little bit of a nudge. And Brett gets the car a little bit out of shape. Now then, we're going through the short chute between 3 and 4. Jeff takes the lead from Brett. Goes in the corner. Brett comes down. Is there contact? Yep, just a little bit of a touch. Around goes Jeff. Brett's able to get by while the car is spinning. The roof flaps come up, do their job, keep the car on the ground. Man, oh man.
There is Jeff Bodine assessing the damage. Now this is from Darrell Waltrip's roof cam. They have just touched. Let's see how Darrell maneuvers through. Boy, Benny, you just hope the smoke clears enough that you can see to get by.
Well, folks, you saw what Darrell Waltrip saw for a couple of times. Nothing. All you can see is the smoke.
It's just a matter of taking a chance from another angle. There's the contact. Jeff goes around. Brett escapes unscathed. And look how everybody avoids this incident. Many go to the left here, some down pit road. But as Brett comes back across the track, he makes heavy contact with Dale Jarrett.
That's unbelievable. I wonder if there's a speed limit down pit road under this kind of a situation.
It's a good thing there was a pit road there, or several of those cars would have been into the wall.
Once again, here's from our speed shot.
Real speed from Darrell Waltrip's roof cam. It's just a matter of luck. Let's see.
So at lap 100 of 160 in the inaugural race at the Brickyard for NASCAR, the brothers of Jeff and Brett were battling for the lead. And it was a very fun race. If you haven't yet, go watch the full thing. But I just wanted to say, I feel like this deserved this spot at the list because it's one that a lot of people think about, but I feel like in some ways not everyone knows about this. So I feel like I should have put it on the list, which I did. Basically, they were battling for the lead, and coming off turn 4, Brett gets into Jeff after he kind of bumped him out of the way, and then he bumped the back, turned him around, and they hit the wall, or Jeff hit the wall, and then Dale Jarrett was collected. A couple other cars were involved in as well. They made a little bit of a documentary about this on YouTube, but basically they had a little bit of family problems, I guess you could say, for the next couple weeks after that happened. They're actually 2 years. So I feel like that was deserved a number 8 spot. Moving on to the 7.
Okay, so yes, coming in at the number 7 spot is the 2006 Brickyard 400. Okay, so this is in 2006. Jimmy Johnson would win after blowing a tire on the 49th lap. So he would come up through the field, and he would end up winning the race. So that's pretty impressive by Jimmy Johnson. Definitely one of the what?
Sorry, go ahead. I thought you stopped.
No, that's okay. Oh, yeah, but I also want to say that this was his 4th win of the season. He would go on to win the championship, but yeah, he had 5 wins, and then this is also his 22nd career win.
True, and Jimmy Johnson, it was a great performance by him. The year before, he had a little bit of heartbreak. The year after, if I'm correct, in 2007, he won as well. 2004, he had a bad crash, and then he was able to finally get the Brickyard 400 win. He would go on to win 4 more times at the track, or 3 more times. I'm not saying he has 4 career wins there. And Junior actually finished 2nd, if I'm correct. Junior finished 2nd in that race.
Yep. Coming in at number 6, we have Casey Kane's final win in 2017. Here's the clip.
The points, the playoffs on the line, but this one so much more. It's not just a race, it's a chance to make a dream come true.
Other than Daytona, the first race of the year, as you go through the summer, this is the one. This is the marquee event that could propel a team to a championship.
Green flags in the air. We're under a red flag condition, lightning in the area. A storm passing through here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway has halted competition after 12 laps. The field approaching the Geico restart zone, ready to get back to racing at the Brickyard. Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr. making up row 1, and we're back to racing in Indianapolis. And Kyle Busch is going to win stage 1 at Indianapolis. A lot of smoke rolling out. Looks like the 88.
Smoke coming out the back. We got run into in the back.
You see the damage to the nose, a heavy damage to the left front.
The radiator out for the 88. His final Brickyard 400 appearance is going to end early. And once again, the 18 has swept the first 2 stages. He's the 4th driver to do that in 2017. Kyle Busch slides and does the 78. They both go up into the wall through turn 1. Caution comes out.
Lock her down. We're done.
Fighting for the spot. The 18 got loose up high. The 78 was loose down low. 78 slid up and hit the 18. They both go around. Big flames underneath the hood of Martin Truex Jr.'s car. The 14 of Clint Boyer involved.
Hold the brake.
Also the 41 of Kurt Busch.
You see him, crash it down, crash it, coming up, he's coming in the middle. Hold the brakes there, bud, when you can.
Oh, into the wall, right in the front stretch. The 42 of Kyle Larson into the wall, and a caution comes out.
Sharon, hold it up here.
Right in the middle of the front stretch, flames from underneath the hood.
I'll flip your stuff, you can get out.
Around goes the 48. The 48 blows up and into the wall it goes. The caution comes out again.
You want to know what winning a race means? It means 3 drivers are willing to drive 3 wide into turn 3 at Indianapolis at over 200 miles an hour, where there is barely 2, really 1.5 lanes for racing.
Caution's going to come out. They're wrecking behind him. Ray Gaulding involved in the 55.
This wreck is because you're coming green-white checkered, and everybody knows if you push the guy in front of you, it's going to make that line go faster. And this is pushing gone wrong.
Overtime, sponsored by Credit One Bank, is underway. Great restart for the 5 of Casey Kane. Can he hold it on the bottom of the track? Kane gets by him. And the 11 goes around. They wreck behind him. Did they get to the overtime line? They haven't got there yet. Has the caution come out yet? Now the caution comes out. Casey Kane will win the Brickyard 400.
On a great restart. Not a good restart, a great restart.
This was marked the first Brickyard 400 without 5-time winner Jeff Gordon on the starting grid, and also the first not to feature the 2-time winning Tony Stewart since 1998 edition. I actually remember seeing this race and how it was a very controversial finish.
Yeah, it was a great race. There was a lot of cautions though, and it ran long. And it was supposed to end like 6 or 7, but it lasted until about 8 o'clock, and it was getting dark. So they were going to have to call a race eventually because they didn't have lights. If I'm correct, they didn't have lights. But nevertheless, they had a wreck on the backstretch, and they waited till Kane passed the overtime line to throw the caution, which back then they had the overtime line. And, you know, it was his final career win in NASCAR. I feel like it was a great moment, so it deserved the number 6 spot. But moving on to number 5, an incident that I feel like definitely deserves to be on this list, and one that comes to mind with many fans. Kurt Busch versus Jimmy Spencer, part 3. Roll the clip.
October of 2001, Busch on the lead lap, Spencer a lap down. Busch would later
took the lead from 23-year-old Kurt Busch on lap 444 in turn 4. But Busch came right back with a Spencer-like move of his own.
Whoa, he hit him. Busch got under him and muscled Jimmy Spencer. You don't see that often.
A new Winston Cup rivalry was born, and revenge was all but promised.
Got railroaded out of the lead, you know, just got smashed 2 in the back bumper. I mean, it's evident on tape. I'm sure they got it. Shouldn't race that way, but he won it. I just don't forget, that's all.
very
top of the screen. Kurt Busch is on the inside of Jimmy Spencer. Down that long straightaway, Kurt moves over to get some air between the two cars. Get to turn 3.
He just booted him out of the way.
Wow, that's not good.
No. I mean, here you got the guy coming, okay, he passed him clean, and you can see the car was slowing up in front of you. I don't think Kurt's going to let that one go over too easy.
And great news there.
Oh, he's mad at somebody.
Yes, he is.
He's angry at somebody.
I think he's got his weapon. Oh, no, it's his hat.
He's going down and just tell somebody when they go by that he's angry.
All right, survey says easy racing with there. We're here and it's a red car.
Jimmy Spencer?
Yeah. That would be what, the 3rd or 4th time this year that they've tangled? Whoa, push, push, push.
Oh, now loose, now loose. Get off the throttle. And he's going to lose the spot.
Oh, touch. Hit.
Yeah, they don't forget, do they?
Oh.
Nobody does in this business.
See, I'm not very good at being bad. I was trying to flatten the 7th car fender, and I got mine. I needed to be further forward on his car. And he just showed on TV him just missed by about an inch of these two, not far enough forward. Inches only count unless you're playing horseshoes and hand grenades. And I don't really want to play either with that clown.
Back bumper up Jimmy Spencer. Spencer gets loose. Wow.
That's arrow loose. It's at its best.
They leader.
You better. What do you got? You have the run of your life.
The garage area may have actually been more exciting than the race. Kurt Busch and Jimmy Spencer kind of duked it out on the racetrack, and that flowed over to the post-race activities. Jimmy actually bumped the number 97 as they entered the garage area, and then sources tell me Jimmy got out of the car, approached Kurt Busch, and actually punched Kurt Busch. Authorities are looking into it, as is NASCAR, but
quite a reaction from the crowd last week at Bristol, Tennessee. Free Jimmy.
Lost puppy.
Lost puppy. And there are a few funny ones we can't show you.
What happened last week was an assault after the race, and what had happened leading up to that in the past was I've got 2 wrecked race cars out of it, and I don't respect Jimmy Spencer. And therefore what happened over the audio during the race and then after the race was because of the fact I don't respect him. I never expected him to cross over that line. And so with having 2 wrecked race cars, that's why I don't respect him. And then
I've said it to everybody, 2 wrongs don't make a right. And I think Kurt Busch was, somebody tried to wreck me at 190 miles an hour. I wouldn't take it very kindly either. And I certainly wouldn't have parked my car behind that guy's hauler either. But, you know, NASCAR did what they have to do, and I certainly support NASCAR on their situation. I think they should have done equally the same to Kurt Busch.
You couldn't wait to get to Darlington, could you?
No, and as hot as it is too, but it's awesome. You know, take a week off. Sure didn't want to, and but you know, NASCAR has rules and you have to abide by them. So, you know, I made a mistake and it's over with, and I'm sorry for what happened.
So Kurt Busch started off in this race back towards the rear of the field. If I'm correct, he crashed there in qualifying or practice. He had to do a backup car. He was making his way up to the front pretty quickly. He was making his way up through the field. And then Jimmy Spencer, he came up alongside. Spencer kind of cut him off a little bit. Spencer put him in the wall. And that was a hard impact. If you've seen the video of that wreck, you know what I'm talking about. that was a hard hit. And if they didn't have the Hans device, they didn't have those Saberberry walls, it could have been a bad deal for Busch. But he got out of that car, you know, with the adrenaline. He was mad. He was mad indeed. And he, in fact, showed his displeasure with Spencer, as you saw in the video. He was making gestures. He was slapping his butt at Spencer, and he had to get called to the NASCAR hauler for what he did. It was actually their third dust up between each other earlier in the year at Bristol. He had a little run in with Spencer battling for the win, and it was Kurt Busch's first career win. But before that, even before that, 2001, Spencer wrecked Kurt Busch at Phoenix. Their fourth dust up would be their last, and that was when Spencer punched Kurt Busch in the garage area after an incident on the track. And yeah, that was a pretty crazy moment. Moving on.
In at number 4 is Tony Stewart's win. Here's the clip.
Shit days, just enjoying life. He sweeps out of turn 4 and sees the white flag at the same track where his hero AJ Foyt won before him. Now Tony Stewart is 2.5 miles away from history.
Looking in his mirror about 2 seconds right now.
Turn 2 at the Brickyard. Down the backstretch.
This is going to be really, really big for him.
Half a lap to go. The fans cheering. Through turn 4, the last trip down the front stretch. Tony Stewart, a native Hoosier, his dream comes true. Tony Stewart wins the All-State 400 at the Brickyard. Let the party begin.
Folks, there's one happy race car driver.
These crew guys, when I talked with Tony yesterday, have stayed with him through some very emotional and turbulent times as a race car driver. They have held it together as a team. They won a championship. Off with the helmet. Unofficially, Stewart is the championship leader now, 75 points in front of Jimmy Johnson. I think this qualifies as your Chevy winning moment. Chevrolet congratulates Tony Stewart and the 20 Monte Carlo on today's win. The defending manufacturer's champion takes win number 567 overall. Chevy, the revolution races on. Well, Tony Stewart won at Daytona, climbed the fence.
I think he's headed over to the suites.
Won at New Hampshire, climbed the fence. And he wants to soak this all in.
I think that's right. He's soaking it all in, and he's acknowledging these Indiana fans.
And he knows he's
collecting himself.
Yes.
As well.
He knows this is the track where his hero AJ Foyt won 4 times. Johnny Rutherford. So many big names. Grew up dreaming of being an open-wheel racer, hoping to win the Indianapolis 500. But his career took a turn towards stock cars. When he got with Joe Gibbs Racing, it really took off. I don't think anybody's left.
This is terrific stuff. Just terrific stuff.
You know, so many times in this sport, you get so close to this moment and it never happens. Dreams are shattered on final laps. Not this time.
Now he's coming up on the suite. We'll see what happens. Will he just simply acknowledge them?
He is unbuckled, continues to wave. Doesn't have his radio in, obviously, so nobody's talking to him. Simply enjoying the moment by himself. Uh-oh, he found a parking spot. That's his suite. It's outside of turn 2. Here comes smoke. Well, milk's the tradition in the Indy 500.
Look at the over there in turn 2. So I hope the car starts again.
The heat shields off his shoes. And back in his car. Wanted to celebrate with his friends. Just wonder if they've got the letters up on the marquee at that Dairy Queen in Columbus already.
Check this out, they ladder.
I think they need a bigger ladder.
So Tony Stewart makes the trip back to the front stretch and then eventually to victory lane at Indianapolis. Casey Kane came home second.
That's zippy.
A NASCAR official.
And the fans are yelling, Tony.
Well, you know what they want, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
It's a small ladder. I don't think he's interested in the ladder.
Jason Shapiro.
Scott
right
Deal.
beside Tony.
I think anybody with the Home Depot shirts requires right now.
How many nights do you think Tony Stewart dreamed of doing this? Somewhere in there is Alan Bestwick.
Oh my goodness, Bill.
So in the 2005 race, Stewart had won and gained the points lead over Jimmy Johnson after Johnson had wrecked earlier in the race. But what really made the race iconic for a couple of reasons was, first off, Stewart winning on his home track, and secondly, climbing the fence like Elio Castroneves with his entire team.
Yep. He also, as he went to turn 2, a fan actually gave him a can of Coca-Cola as he was doing his celebration. Casey Kane finished second. Jeremy Mayfield actually got 4th in this race. Tony Stewart led the most laps with 44. And if Bill Elliott had finished in the top 10 in that race, all of the Evernham drivers would have finished in the top 10 for the first time that season. That was a great race, too. If you haven't yet, go check that out. Moving on.
And at number 3, we have Paul Menard's upset victory in 2011.
Just kind of taking the measure of him, pacing him.
Yeah, I mean, just trying to stay close enough to push him on the fuel issue.
Tony Stewart began the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup with the win at Chicagoland Speedway on Monday. We talked then about would that be what launched them in to a championship bid after, frankly, a season that wasn't as successful as we expected out of Stewart and this team.
He's 6 laps away from getting that win. He's got half of his wins from this track.
In front of him, Boyer, this is what I'm talking about. He's having to use fuel here. He's having to run extremely hard right now, trying to get Bobby Labonte here. So it's not like he can ease around and make all of that happen.
Labonte was trying to stay on the lead lap, 22nd place. He's just gone a lap down. Stewart closing in.
Yeah, it's time for Stewart to go. If he's got anything left, he needs to put it all out there right now.
Ryan Newman on pit road under the green with 5 to go. Bad break for 39. Report from pit road, right front on that 39 car.
I think that might have been a loose wheel. It didn't look like that tire was flat.
Driver felt something he didn't like and didn't think he could take for 5 more laps. So 4 laps to go. Clint Bowyer out in front of this race, trying to hold off Tony Stewart for the win. All of these drivers thinking they possibly have fuel to the finish, or they possibly don't. A familiar situation in 2011 in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. For Stewart, a win would be 2 for 2 in the chase. For Bowyer,
3 to go. I didn't like the sound of his voice right there. It sounded like it may have stumbled on him.
that was Boyer's radio.
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin looks like he's out of gas.
Oh man, that's a tough break for Denny Hamlin. Yeah,
So-
he had gotten to Jeff Gordon's back bumper for that 5th spot right before that happened.
So we've already seen one run dry. And Stewart is stalking. Report from pit road. Bowyer is questioning whether he's running out of fuel. Here comes Stewart.
Yeah, there it is. He's out.
Stewart to the lead. 2 laps to go.
Now does Tony have enough fuel?
It was this race a year ago. Stewart led coming off turn 4 to the white flag. And he ran out of gas. Is it going to be different this time?
He's got a big lead. He can sit on that. He doesn't have to run very hard.
White flag is up this time. 1 lap to go.
Looks like Brad Keselowski took second away from Greg Biffle.
Final lap in New Hampshire. Watching Tony Stewart to see if he's got enough fuel to make it. The advantage he has, he's up 7 seconds on Keselowski now as other people begin to fade.
Take a deep breath, I got this.
Sounds like he's got plenty of fuel.
So if he was stalking him, he knew just what he was doing. 2 wins in a row to start the chase.
Way to go.
Tony Stewart wins at New Hampshire.
That's impressive by Tony Stewart and this team. Brad Keselowski, great day.
Greg Biffle out of fuel coming to the checkers.
See if Jeff Gordon can beat him. Nope, looks like Biffle beat Gordon to the line.
But Gordon was able to stretch the gas to get there. Keselowski gets second, Biffle third, Gordon fourth, Brian Vickers comes home fifth. Dale Earnhardt Jr. possibly out of gas coming to the checkers also and got a right front.
Wow, Matt Kenseth comes home 6th. What a rebound for him.
Oh, another crazy finish. And Vince, this year at New Hampshire's going to come out a lot better for Darian Grubb, Tony Stewart's crew chief.
Tell you what, they are celebrating here in the 14 box, and Darian, a lot better finish this time than a year ago, huh? How good's that feel?
Feels really good. Way to start the chase here. This awesome team, SHR. I can't say enough for everything that they've done. Starting to chase off with 2 wins. We can't think anything better.
Well, they had a few slip through their hands early in the season, but they have put it together here to start the chase. Back-to-back wins.
Had enough fuel to go and do some celebrating afterwards.
And on pit road as Stewart went into victory lane, the sportsmanship of the handshake from Clint Bowyer. So let us head down to Napa Victory Circle and hear from today's winner, Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart soaking it up. He's the new points leader now with an 8-point advantage and just the second driver to ever open the chase with back-to-back wins. Well, if last week's victory at Chicagoland Speedway gave you guys a shot of confidence, what does this week's win say about this 14 team, Tony?
Well, I mean, we felt like this weekend was a good opportunity off of the spring. So, you know, we got 8 long weeks still, man. It's way too early to be counting chickens right now.
You guys had struggled throughout the course of the season during many points. Early in the season, you had some victories slip through your fingers. How frustrating was it during those down times? You ever imagine that you'd be in this position?
Well, we got rid of some dead weight earlier this week, so it's made it a lot easier. So it's been a big weight lifted off our shoulders. Just sometimes you got to make adjustments in your life, and we did that, and it's definitely helped this weekend for sure. And these guys have never quit, man. These guys have never given up, and we got a shot at this thing.
How about the irony of last year's race with you running out of fuel and Clint taking the victory, and then him running out of fuel today and you getting the win?
I know exactly what that feels like. I know exactly how he feels right now. Hey, I saw him slow down the back, and I thought, oh, no, you're kidding me. That's not the way you want to win it, for sure. But, we're in a chase now, and we got to get everything we can get. So, I feel bad for him, and it's fun racing him. I mean, he had the better car at the end there. Our only chance was to catch him in lap traffic, but head to head he was a little better than we were, so it's hard to lose him that way. But we finally got Mobile One in victory lane today, and shows the last 2 weeks we've been good on fuel mileage, and that's how good Mobile One is and how efficient it is. And Office Depot and Goodyear and U.S. Army, Chevrolet, Mack Tools, everybody at Mack, they're awesome. Haas Automation, the Hendrick engine department and chassis department, they're doing an awesome job. So I forgot them last week, and I hate that because they're the reason we're here. So everybody at Stewart Haas Racing, and Tom Tieran, this one's for you, buddy.
Tony Stewart taking care of business today. It's a 7-point lead in the championship now. Dave?
And Jeff Gordon's been debriefing with car owners and friends. Jeff, the good news is up 6 positions. You are now 5th in the championship. You led the most laps, got a couple of bonus points. But tell us how staying on pit road for as long as you did changed your day.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating for everybody on this DuPont Chevrolet team. None of us want to put ourselves in that position. It's a bit of a surprise to all of us that I ran out under green. We were expecting to go a couple more laps, so we're making great horsepower. We're not getting good fuel mileage. But Tony, is figuring out a way to do it, so you got to give those guys credit. They got the same engines we have, and we got to do a better job at it. I got to do a better job at it. But at that point, when we ran out, I didn't know I had to save fuel. I thought we were in our window, and we're just going to come in and do a green flag stop. And, gosh, it was just frustrating. We got back out there, and once I got behind guys like Tony, I really was just too tight to pass him anyway. I certainly wasn't expecting to have to conserve as much as we did there. But, hey, to pull off a top 5, that's good. We got what we could out of it. We didn't need to take any chances like we did last week at Chicago. And, all we can do is look at the good side, and that's what we made gains in the points. Not making enough gains on the leaders, that's the only frustrating part.
Well, 2 good sides, a recovery in the points, as he said, and a recovery to 4th place today. Jamie?
Brad Keselowski's talking smack on Jeff Gordon, going long-winded there. Finishes 2nd today.
With him one day and see how long he can swim, man. I bet he could be underwater for an hour.
Okay, let's talk about your run today. Jumped up 3 positions in the points, your 3rd, highest ever. Your crew chief was stressed out this morning about your car. Did it get that much better, or was it all strategy?
No, we made some good adjustments with about 120, 130 to go. And drove up into 4th, which I was really proud of our team for that. And still playing a little strategy, used the fuel stuff to get up to 2nd. But we were a legitimate top 10 car. Maybe not quite a 2nd place car, but proud of the effort, proud of how we took a track where we were weak at and got a good finish of it. That's what this chase is all about. And I'm Arrow White Dodge team, they're getting it done.
Hot streak continues when it counts most. Brad Keselowski 2nd. Doc?
Jimmy Johnson climbing out of his car here in the garage. Jimmy, I know this day had its ups and downs and some frustration there, particularly with 20 to go, and you and Kyle. What was going on with the contact?
Well, I think track position was really important, and he was just racing really hard, which is what he's supposed to do. Typically, the one lane off the bottom is the lane you give someone when they're on the inside of you, and he didn't want to give that lane up. And we just made some contact. It wasn't like he was trying to wreck me or anything. He was just being kind of stubborn and end of a race mentality. And when we got together the 2nd time, I think our wheels locked, and whipped the wheel out of my hand and bent something in the steering up front. But that was just the end of a bad day. I mean, we didn't have a car like we thought we would. We were really optimistic yesterday after practice. The car was just great. Today just didn't have the speed, and then track position was so important, and spit calls didn't work out our way. But we'll take this one on the chin and go on to the next one.
You've been in this position before, with down a little bit at the beginning of a chase, 8 races ago. What's the mindset now for you, maybe winning that 6th title?
You just got to take every race as they come. You never know what's going to happen. And in my experience of winning 5, we lost the points lead due to a wreck on the last lap at Talladega and still came back and won. So anything can happen, but days like this aren't what you hope for sure.
Thanks for your time.
Yep, thank you.
All right, so Jimmy Johnson with an 18th place finish today here at New Hampshire, and we check the championship standings after the 2nd race in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon did make a nice move using that conservative strategy to not run out of fuel. He didn't gain on the leaders, but he did gain 6 spots.
Yeah, just looking at Tony Stewart, the move that they have made here, I don't think any of us could see this coming, but Brad Keselowski, we talked about him possibly getting in this chase, the way that they ran, that they could be a sleeper and battle for this championship, and they're right there.
And it's on to Dover for the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. Meanwhile, a couple of guys who are not in the championship who had some good finishes today here in New Hampshire with Dave.
Yeah, they sure did, Alan. 5th place, Brian Vickers. I had to look at him for 2 seconds there. And 3rd place, Greg Biffle. Let's start with Greg. Greg, best finishing Roush car here today. It's been a while since that's been the case for you. How'd you get there?
Well, I mean, we ran there the whole day. We were never out of the top 10, and just had a really, really good car, and the guys did a great job in the pits, and I'm finally happy that we just finished a race where we had been running. We've run up front, Chicago, we had something, sheet metal brake on the car, and here, nothing happened to the car. We finished where we're running 3rd. We ran out of gas and got beat. We were running 2nd, but 2 got by us, but still just a great day for us. Excited we had Ford 40 MPG on the car. I think it might have helped us a little bit.
Great run for him in 3rd today. And Brian Vickers, who tied his season best with a 5th place, Brian.
Yeah, it was a good run for us. The Red Bull Toyota guys did a good job all day. We were good in the first stint, not great. Over-adjusted, got way too loose. The 2nd and 3rd stint, lost our track position. The last 2 runs, we were awesome. The car was so good, probably one of the better cars on the track. We had to pass 20 cars just to get back to the top 5, and we ran out of time. But really proud of the effort by everyone.
It's like they say, you got to work on your stuff to be good, and they did today. Dr. Punch?
Well, Denny Hamlin, trying to get his luck to turn around here, came out of the car, sat on the back of the hauler here, talking to Mike Ford and some of the engineers on the team, and what a frustrating year it has been for Denny Hamlin. Denny, it looked like this was going to be the day that turned it around for you. You guys making a gamble on fuel, and everyone seemed to say on the radio you thought you were good.
Yeah, we thought we were good, and that's just another one. It's strategy racing nowadays, and we just came up short right there. The only thing I can think of is we were a little bit, we were in cleaner racetrack that last run. But that was the worst fuel mileage we got all day, and I was backing my corner up quite a bit. So there's only 2 things, either we weren't getting the fuel mileage we thought, or we didn't get it full, or I just used too much. So we got to work through it, and another tough day for us. But we're just figuring out what we got to do just to be a little more competitive.
Denny Hamlin, no quitting this team. They're going on next week to Dover. Vince.
Earnhardt Jr. certainly was a solid day for you guys. You didn't get the finish because of that right front flat, but finished up 17th today. But how encouraging is it to run the way you guys ran 2 weeks in a row?
Well, we want to run like that. We had a great car. We worked really smart all weekend. 2nd week in a row, we really had a good one and should have finished in the top 10 pretty easily. We had a flat tire, and then we had, about 100 laps to go, and then we had another flat tire right there at the end. Just too much camber. We really didn't hit anybody or bang on the wall or anything. Just, having a little too much camber gain, getting a little too much travel, and the track did tighten up there at the end to really increase wear on the right front. So it's a shame, but and I'm frustrated. I want to win a race. I'd like to win a chase, but I'd like to win a race too. We had a good enough car to do it today, I thought.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. Thanks, Dale. Alan?
All right, Vince, thanks. And Junior and the rest of the drivers in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series going to move down the East Coast a little bit from here in New Hampshire to Dover, Delaware on the Monster Mile for next Sunday's Race 3 in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup, ESPN 1 Eastern Time. Then it's out to Kansas Speedway, Charlotte, Talladega, Martinsville, and the rest of the tracks.
There were 5 cautions and 22 lead changes among 13 different drivers throughout the course of the race. Paul Menard won his only Cup Series race driving for Richard Childress Racing, while Jeff Gordon finished 2nd and Regan Smith clinched 3rd. The result moved Menard to the 14th position in the Drivers' Championship. He remained 53 points behind 10th place driver Dale Earnhardt Jr. and 2 ahead of Casey Kane in 15th. Chevrolet maintained its lead in the Manufacturers' Championship, 20 points ahead of Ford and 28 ahead of Toyota, with 16 races remaining in the season. A total of 100,000 people attended the race, while 6.4 million watched it on live television. Dang. I remember when NASCAR used to pull numbers like that.
Yep, they used to back in the day at the Brickyard. If you watch some of the races from the 90s and early 2000s, the place was packed, sold out. Wish it would be like that now. But that was a really, really interesting race. I remember watching this, and David Reagan was on the pole. No one expected Menard to win. it came down to pit strategy. One driver that was out in front towards the end was Trevor Bain. He actually was leading with 10 laps to go. And then Paul Menard basically, they decided to gamble on fuel a little bit. And if I'm correct, he got 2 tires on one of his stops. I may be wrong. And Jamie McMurray was out front. It looked like he might get his second win in a row at the track. Then he comes down pit road with 3 to go. And then Jeff Gordon comes flying out of nowhere. Jeff Gordon was catching Menard, but he just ran out of time. Moving on, number 2.
In at number 2 is Dale Sr.'s win. Here's the clip.
Turn 1. Trying to intimidate the intimidator. Dale Jarrett trying to do so. Wallace also, but I think Dale Earnhardt's found a few more feet of breathing room out there, though they close up now in that short shoot over into the second corner.
Well, I'm not sure at that speed how you measure a few feet. It looks like it's status quo as they come off this second corner. But I tell you, I still think the fastest driver-car combination's at Hamlin number 28.
As they come down the back straight, once again, they close it up, and here comes Jarrett. Looks like he's going to look to the inside, but tucks it back in behind Rusty Wallace, and they head to 3.
Now they're in the north short chute, and again, Dale Jarrett trying to close on Rusty Wallace. They come to 4. The separation, just a couple of car lengths. Slower traffic in front should give the 3 a chance to bunch up behind Kenny Wallace.
But, Ned, the important thing is they're not gaining on Earnhardt.
No, they aren't. They aren't gaining on him. He's... In fact, they're all running about the same speed. Jarrett might have picked up just a little bit on Rusty Wallace, but man, this is some exciting racing. This is what the fans paid for.
They pull up on Kenny Wallace, turn 2. Off to the side allows them plenty of racing room as they negotiate turn 2. And again, just about the same spacing between first and second and second and third. Granted, I think they're all now running just about the very same speed.
Every fan on its feet as they head into turn number 3, and what a great race this is as the laps wind down. Earnhardt is your leader. Second place Wallace, third place Dale Jarrett. Less than 8 car lengths separate your top 3.
And you're right, if there's going to be a battle, it seems to be for second. Jarrett's still trying to reel in Rusty Wallace. They head through 4. Dale Earnhardt is the leader, running smoothly.
Coming down for 2 to go. 300,000 fans have bought seats. Nobody's sitting in them. They may be standing on them. Front straightaway, Earnhardt incredibly extends his advantage, going to 1.
Dale Earnhardt's been very effective in making moves into the short chute, the south end of the speedway today. Now he just kind of steps it out a couple of notches or 2. He's got more breathing room, and here comes Dale Jarrett right in on the back of Rusty Wallace.
Well, remember, after last year's race, Dale figures this place owes him one. He may have it here. The battle indeed is for second, halfway down the backstretch.
Looks like Dale Jarrett will go trying to look to make the move. Instead, he tucks it right in behind Rusty Wallace's Ford Thunderbird as they head into 3. But once again, it's Earnhardt, your leader, and now he's opened up about a 4-car length lead.
Again, fighting to try to reel in Rusty Wallace's third-place runner, Dale Jarrett. Dale Earnhardt leads. The lead is about 12 car lengths. Then it's Rusty Wallace. Then it's a hard charge at Dale Jarrett.
White flag will be in the wind this time around. We're into the last lap of the Brickyard 400.
Dale Earnhardt has a comfortable lead. Rusty Wallace does not have a comfortable lead over Dale Jarrett as he's going to turn 1.
Dale Earnhardt, third in money, third in points, about to pick up a big bundle of money in the short chute. Straight on into number 2, Gary Kitty.
Dale Earnhardt made a mistake at the beginning of last year's race. If he does not make a mistake at the end of this one, he's going to win it. About 8 car lengths now separate first and second as they head for 3.
He says there's 2 races he wants to win before he quits, and that is the Brickyard 400 and the Daytona 500. He less down than 2 turns away from winning the Brickyard.
Dale Earnhardt through the north short chute. He has the comfortable lead. Rusty Wallace seems to have regained the comfortable lead for second. They're through 4. Earnhardt, Wallace, Jarrett, everybody on their feet. Here to describe the finish is Mike Joy.
Last year, Dale Earnhardt brushed the wall on the second lap. Today, he brushes off all challengers, and Dale Earnhardt in the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet wins the second annual Brickyard 400. Rusty Wallace is second, Dale Jarrett is third. Let's go to Earnhardt's pit, Glenn Jarrett.
And I'm standing by there. It's absolute pandemonium down here, guys. I'm going to try to get a word with Richard Childers. And Richard, congratulations. What a great run. How do you overcome disappointment after last year better than this?
I'll tell you what, this is wonderful. This team worked so hard. We built a brand new car. They all stayed on the wheel all the way. It was just wonderful.
Like great pit work. You guys did a fantastic job all day.
Yeah, great pit work is just one. It's just a wonderful day to win a Brickyard. I can't believe it.
a wonderful day to win here. Congratulations, guys. Great job. It's an absolute jubilation out here, guys. This is fun.
Exiting the car shortly. This is unbelievable. Dale Earnhardt brings a totally new car here to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and finds his way to victory lane. Now he gets out of the car to the cheers of the assembled throng and the congratulations of his crew. And you said, Dale, you've won the PPG Cup. You're the winner of the Brickyard 400. You said on the radio to your crew, I guess I'm not too old to win here.
Well, I tell you, Chevrolet and GM Goodwrench done a great job. I tell you, Richard and all the guys back at the shop, in the fab shop, I can't thank them enough. Put a great race car together, a brand new car. Just had about 40 laps of practice on her before the race. To go out and win this race with this car is great.
What a gamble for you guys, though. Like yesterday, making all of those changes, having to battle with the weather, and not really sure whether you're even going to get some practice to shake it down.
Well, we even made some changes this morning, I'll be honest with you, but his race car, his crew, they are to beat when they're right, and he was right today. I was better out front than I was.
Getting the congratulations from Mary George.
I was better out front than I was behind, and when I got behind, it was push, and it just wouldn't go as good. I go out front, and it was real good. I could go better out front, so that's the place I wanted to be. We beat him out of pits there, on that green flag stop, and into caution, we had track position. So
you had a close call out there, though.
Yeah, the 8 car wrecked in front of us, but.
And there's Richard Childress coming in to congratulate his driver, and this is the celebration. We're tangled up in the court, and one of the things that is a tradition here with the PPG Cup for winning the Brickyard 400 is a special commemorative silver brick. And the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Tony George, is here to make the presentation, and I know you've been waiting for one of these. Tony?
Dale, congratulations. Well-deserved victory, and I know what we talked about earlier, and we'll both forget that conversation. I'm happy to present you with this PPG trophy, commemorating your win today.
Well, thank you, Tony. Y'all got a great family and a great racetrack tradition up here. I'm glad I'm the second man that won it, if not the first. We really appreciate it. And NASCAR, I guarantee you NASCAR is happy to be here.
Now, what about the Daytona 500? You haven't won that one, but now you can walk around and say, hey, man, I've won Indianapolis.
Yeah, and just 2 of us have done it. It's a pretty neat deal. We've never won the Daytona 500, but the Brickyard's a special race. I think it's the next to it, so we'll take it.
Let's go back to the tower.
So in the 1995 race, ABC had signed off early because of the green flag dropping at 5 p.m. Eastern time due to rain. So there was no live TV broadcast, which would be one of the last races to not be broadcast live. It was instead broadcast on the radio live and reran the day after the race. Dale had won over Rusty Wallace due to darkness.
Yeah, and there's only one caution in that race, too. It's pretty crazy. If I'm correct, it's the fastest Brickyard 400 in history. The race ended at 7 o'clock Eastern time. So, or actually, yeah, 8 o'clock. I was wrong there. I was thinking Central time on my notes. But yeah, it was a very fast race. Only one caution. And I feel like that deserved the number 2 spot because first off, it's Dale Earnhardt. Second of all, it was very iconic. He was having a great battle with Rusty Wallace for that win. And Jeff Burden actually brought out the final caution. Jeff Burden spun, and then the leaders had to avoid him coming to take the yellow flag, and then the rest of it was just run under yellow and the checkered flag. But number 1, I think this one was pretty obvious to put at number 1, and this one was Jeff Gordon winning the inaugural Brickyard 400. Roll the clip.
It's got to be tough on those crewmen. Oh, here we go. Ernie slipped going in 1. Ernie slips, and Jeff Gordon gets alongside.
That wasn't on orders from the crew. That was because Ernie missed the entrance to turn 1, and Jeff saw it and immediately went for the hole.
And something's wrong with Ernie. Something has happened to the 28 car, Bob.
Irvin slows down and is going to lose second position.
A tire. He's got a tire going down.
Irvin drops off the pace, and now Brett Bodine goes into second. Ernie Irvin heads for the warm-up lane, and Jeff Gordon has the lead. And listen to this crowd in Indiana as they cheer their boy, Jeff Gordon. On to the backstretch now with less than 1/2 lap to go for Jeff Gordon. He eyes turn number 3.
And listen to the crowd as they acknowledge Jeff Gordon when he goes by.
It's an unbelievable situation in Indianapolis. Here he is in the 4th turn. This is his final trip around turn number 4. And Jeff Gordon is about to write his name in the racing history books. Years from today, when 79 stock car races have been run here, we'll remember the name Jeff Gordon, winner of the inaugural Brickyard 400.
First it was Ray Haroon, ladies and gentlemen. And now the name is Jeff Gordon has won the first Winston Cup race here at the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Jeff, over here, congratulations, a terrific victory, but tell us about the battle first.
Oh man, what a battle. You know, we had a great car all day long, and the only car I was really worried about was that 7 car, and you know, I saw him he had his misfortune, and I thought, well, all we got to do is just be nice and smooth and ride it here out from here. But that wasn't true. You know, we had a caution, and Ernie and the 2 car were right there, and I pulled away, but Ernie, you know, he kept loosening me up, so I let him go by, and then I get on him and eat his tires up and loosen him up. He let me go by. I tell you, I just want to commend that whole Haviland team and Ernie Irvin. He drove me a really nice, clean race. We didn't have to worry about anything. And
well, listen, we've got a very special presentation. Behind me and behind you is the president of the internationally known Indianapolis Motor Speedway that is now the home of Winston Cup's Brickyard 400, Mr. Tony George, for a very special presentation. Tony?
Jeff, congratulations. You've helped write history here. Your name will be the first to be inscribed on the beautiful PPG trophy for the Brickyard 400. This is yours to take home. Congratulations.
So it was the first NASCAR race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Record crowd, and the winning purse was $3.2 million, which is pretty crazy. Jeff Gordon, hometown hero from Pittsboro, Indiana. Sorry about that. He was 23 years old, and it was his 2nd career win. He had won earlier that year in the Coca-Cola 600. It was a great race, but going down to the end of it, basically Ernie Irvin was in the lead. They kept swapping it. And then Irvin had a flat tire down the backstretch with around 5 laps to go. He had to go to pit road. Brett Bodine ended up finishing 2nd, and it was iconic. It was a great race and the #1 spot on the list. Hope y'all enjoyed the list this week.
Yes, so now let's get into our picks for the Indy Road Course, starting out with Xfinity. I'm going to go ahead and say AJ Allmendinger. Obviously, he's the road course king.
It's tough to choose this one, to be honest with you. Part of me wants to say Cindric because he's won on road courses, and there's also drivers in it like Kevin Harvick, but he hasn't won an Xfinity race in a long time. I'm not going to pick him. I just don't see that happening. I'm actually going to go with Justin Allgaier to win this race. He's won multiple times on road courses before. I just feel like he's going to get the win.
For me, I'm going Chastain.
Josiah?
Cam,
Okay,
he's not in the Xfinity race.
He's not going to be in the Xfinity race?
No.
God dang it. All right, fine. Cindric.
Yeah, I was just looking through the entry list, but yeah, I actually don't really know who to pick, so I guess I'll just pick Cindric because he's really good at road courses.
And finally, for the Cup race, this is going to be a very, very odd pick. But you see that flag behind Christian? That's my pick. Chase Briscoe. He won the Indy Road Course last year, pretty much dominated. I mean, I won't be surprised if he doesn't win, but because he's one of the only drivers in the field that actually has experience driving on it, and he's a road course ringer, I think he's going to get his first win of the season at Indianapolis. And it's a wild pick. It's a stretch, I know, but that's my pick.
It's great to have picks that no one really expects. And I would really love to see this guy win. I'd really love to see Briscoe go to victory lane. As Mike said, last year he dominated the Xfinity race. But for me, I'm just going to go with my gut. I'm actually going to pick Martrex Jr. to win this race, even though I'm not a Truex Jr. fan. He's won road courses before. He's won at Sonoma. He's came close. He actually came close to win the Busch Clash, even though it's not a points paying race. He came close to win the Busch Clash earlier this year until he wrecked himself. But I feel like Truex Jr. is going to get the win. What about you, Cam?
I actually am going to go with Logano. Now, I know you're like, it's kind of a wild pick, but I mean, Logano's kind of been known to be, actually really decent at road courses. And, if there's not teammates that screw him up like last time, no shade. I'm not going to be toxic. I think he does have a chance. I hope he does good no matter what, but I do think he's going to win it. I also do see Mike and your point, Savage, both very good picks.
Yeah, I think you guys got some good picks, but I was just looking through the entry list, and I think this one is also a little out there, but I'm picking AJ Allmendinger.
Oh, wow. I think that one driver that could surprise a lot of people this race, I'm going to say Ricky Stenhouse Jr. might have a good race. He did really good at Watkins Glen at some points throughout that race, and he's done pretty decent at road courses. I think Ricky Stenhouse Jr. might get a top 10, top 5 maybe.
Yeah, and I'd have to say, I think my dark horse driver for this race is definitely going to be Quinn Houff. He's just, he's really been showing out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's been really showing off lately.
Yeah, he's the dark horse for the infield care center there.
Oh, man. Well, we don't want to see anyone hurt, but I mean.
Not slander Houff. Sorry. So, yeah, my dark horse pick. I mean, does AJ Allmendinger count as a dark horse? I mean, he doesn't really run full time anymore, so I consider him a dark horse.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
So yeah, for my fantasy lineup, which is mostly my picks, you got Michael McDowell. I mean, Michael McDowell's very good on road courses. You got Ross Chastain. He's another driver with experience on this course. You got Chase Briscoe, who I just picked to win. AJ Allmendinger, he's one of the road course kings. Austin Cindric, another driver with experience. Same with Allmendinger, and then Truex because he's solid on road courses. My bonus picks, Briscoe, like I mentioned, AJ Allmendinger for top Chevy, Briscoe for top Ford, Truex for top Toyota, Ford manufacturer, and Haas for the winning team. And so with that,
I just want to say real quick too, what's y'all's opinion? Like, what do y'all think the race is going to be like? Because we never seen Cup, or did we see Cup on the road course last year? Because
no,
I just don't think it's going to be exciting. I just don't think it's going to be an exciting race. I don't think it's going to be good. I prefer the oval. I know not everyone agrees with me, which is okay because I can understand why. I just don't think it's going to be a good race. There'll probably be one or two spins, but even though spins have nothing to do with the excitement, honestly, sometimes, but it shouldn't be the reason why we watch the race. But I just don't think it's going to be good.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be probably like an okay race. I think it's going to be kind of like the Xfinity race last year, but yeah, especially after today, I am already missing the oval Indianapolis course because I just like that track. I think I just like it. I'm going to kind of miss it.
Put your opinion down in the comments, guys. Let us know how you feel on it.
I think it's going to be a good race. But anyways, with that will conclude this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Join our fantasy league. Subscribe to our second channel. Follow our Instagrams. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.